What up, everybody? It's Sports Dad. Listen, I'm not here to talk about recruiting, but I have a dilemma. My wife decides to go purchase a refrigerator on yesterday. The refrigerator was supposed to be delivered today, which it did, and it's a beautiful fridge. I like it. But yesterday I asked her, I said, are they going to connect the water line in the back of the fridge? And she said, yes, all I need to do is make sure that the water line is disconnected when they get here so that they don't have to worry about that. I said, okay. The guy gets here and I noticed that he's looking at the fridge and he put the new one in and then I said, are you going to connect the water line? He says, no. And I said, he said, we don't touch those. It's a liability issue. I said, even if I paid you? He said, nope, we're not going to do it. So I called my wife and I said, well, they said that they're not going to do it. And she said, yeah, I told you that what you needed to do was make sure that the water is shut off and to disconnect it, and then you'll have to reconnect it. So maybe I misunderstood, but I don't remember it like that. But you know how that goes. But maybe I misunderstood. So as I'm attempting to go and reconnect the line to the holes of the fridge, I'm noticing that the nut that goes on the line is broken. All right, it's broken. And so what that means is that either you have to, you need a new nut, but in most situations, people just install a new line, a new water line, and this is a copper line. So I'm going to attempt to fix it, and then I'm going to post this on my YouTube page because I tried to go on YouTube to find something like this, and I could not find a fix for it. The only thing I can find was, people installing new water lines. So hopefully if someone run into a situation like this, hopefully, this video will help. And, but I'm going to attempt to fix it and hopefully this thing works. So here's the line, right? It's a copper line. It's a soft copper line. So on the tip of this line, so as you know, this nut right here, it's broken, right? It's broken and it was sitting on this line. And there was also another piece on here that normally hold the nut on so that no water can get out. But that's no longer there. So because I tried to cut it earlier. Now, so I started thinking, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to replace this whole thing. And that's just something that I can't do, right? And I don't want to go through that. So I started thinking outside of the box. Shout out to my grandfather, David Taylor, who normally, who can fix anything actually. And so, but I normally call him when I'm in a dilemma. And then when he comes over, the creative juices get to flowing and then we're able to solve the issue and because he can fix anything. So, but I started thinking before I called him and I said, what would he do? Right. And so he said, you have to improvise. That's what he always says, right? No, he always says you have to improvise. So I'm thinking like, what improvisation could I do? Right? How can I improvise? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a clean cut and when I get a clean cut, hopefully it'll still be nice and round. And because I tried to cut it with the wrong instrument earlier. Now, the tools that you're going to need are these. So originally, this was on the end of the copper tool, right? On the end of the copper line. So, but I cut it off and with the wrong instrument, and that is what happened. So I did go on YouTube and I did find a guy. I said, cutting, copper lines or whatnot, or water line. And he told me, the guy mentioned that we should go and get a copper cutter, right? This is a mini copper cutter. And so I'm going to try and do it with this way. This will give me a clean cut. And then I have the copper fitting, right? Well, the brass fitting and the compression sleeve. I got it done, but these are I put it in the wrong one, but these are compressions. These are nuts, right? And these are the brass sleeves. But I'm not going to use the plastic ones, but I got the nuts and I have the brass sleeves. And so I'm going to try and use it. And then, also too, I got, this little wrench so that I could, tighten it or whatnot. And this will hold, you can also use a channel, I think, mini channel locks or whatnot to hold it in place. But I'm going to try and fix it and see what happens. So I got the mini cutter on there, the mini copper cutter. And so what you do is you spin it around, right, until you get a good clean cut. So now I'm going to try to spin it around. There's my cut, nice clean cut on the copper hose from the cutter. So that looks good so far. So let's keep going. Now I'm going to try to install the brass fitting. Actually, I'm going to put the nut on first, and then after the nut, I'm going to put the brass fitting on. So as you can see, I put the nut on first, and then after the nut, I put the brass fitting on. So in theory, so that brass fitting is designed so that no water will seep out. So I'm going to screw this into this one here, and hopefully I'm going to turn on the water. I'm going to turn on the water, and hopefully there will be no leaks. Keep your fingers crossed. So you screw this on as much as you can and tighten it as much as you can with your hand. And then with this wrench here, you give it one, they like to call it one revolution, right? Which is you put it on and then you just twist it, bam, just to that point, and that will be called one revolution. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now keep in mind, when you do twist it and give it the one revolution, you have to have another wrench to hold this in place so that it won't move, so that it can be nice and sturdy when you're tightening it. Okay, this is tight, and I gave it the one revolution. I tightened it, and hopefully now what I'm going to do is, the only thing left to do is turn on the water, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Okay, I turned on the water. Now, if there's no leaks, I turned on the water. If there's no leaks, I mean, if in theory, I shouldn't see any leaks, right, when I look at this pipe. And if so, I'm telling you, and as I'm walking upstairs, guess what? I don't hear anything seeping out of the back. Yes. So let's see. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, no leaks in this line whatsoever. No leaks, no drips, nothing. We are good. Let's test this thing out. See? Oh ho ho ho! Yeah, boy. My grandfather, David Taylor, I'm telling you, the juices was flowing. And shout out to all the guys that inspired me, you know what I mean, that helped me out to be handy, because I always desired to be handy. My boy Reddy Red, you know what I mean, he helped me out too. So but I got it done. You feel me? I thought we was in trouble. I thought we was gonna have to replace the line. So hopefully this video helps someone else. And listen, don't forget to tap in tomorrow in my live session. I got a motivational speaker that's coming, so you don't want to miss it. Tap into my live session on my YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe tomorrow, Thursday at 7 o'clock. If you need to be encouraged, he's going to be not just talking to, he's going to be talking to everybody, not just athletes. He's going to be talking to parents, you know, whatever. He's going to be there to motivate. So if you need to be motivated, tap in.